Good afternoon, Flosstube. It's Christina here, and it is Sunday, the 3rd of October 2021, and this is episode 10. And I'm back with some more stitching to share with you. An oldie, whips, haul, plans, a few other things. First up, we'll start with the golden oldie, which is the one that I usually open with, and this one is not ironed because it was an afterthought today and I'd already ironed all the works in progress. I'm too lazy to get the iron out again. I am habitually lazy when it comes to ironing. I hate ironing. In fact, 95% of my clothes don't need ironing, and the 5% that do, I don't bother. I'd rather be stitching. Anyway, today's golden oldie is from Bright Needle. I can't remember the name of the design. I think it's something like something alphabet. Not sure. Summer alphabet, summertime alphabet. It's stitched over one on a hard hanger, so that's a 22 count. And I used just threads from my stash, so it's not the actual colours it's meant to be. Which is interesting because if I did it again, I'd probably stitch it using the colours that Bright Needle selected, because they were very good at putting together colour schemes. In fact, they tended to use anchor threads because I liked the colour range that Anchor had better and it suited their design aesthetic. And I've got a lot of anchor threads, so if I come across any of their designs again, then I will probably stitch them using my anchor threads. Sadly, they're no longer designing, haven't been for quite some time, but I think I've still got some of their charts back there, so there might be more that pop up in my stitching at some point in the future. Now, this week I had a really good stitching week, and I stitched on quite a lot of things. I think it's 6 projects. Yeah, 6 projects. So the first one was Deer Forest by Owl Forest Embroidery, and I rather foolishly said, oh, I'm going to try and get half this border done. I didn't. I finished the top, basically the top row, apart from the orange flowers or berries or whatever they are. So, but it's progress. And then I started on randomly on this deer here because it was the same colour as these, and I didn't want to move the Q-snap. And I'm very pleased with this one. This one's now 29% complete, so getting there. I will be getting more of their designs at some point in the future. This one is on 32 count natural linen from Saga, and it's using the threads that came in the kit. So, and Owl Forest are now using or provide Saga files for a lot of their patterns, which I'm really thrilled about. I will actually do a video just about cross stitch Saga at some point in the future, but it's a pattern marking app which shows progress and percentages, and I love it. It's slightly different to Pattern Keeper because it works on the output files from the designing patterns directly, not PDFs. Okay, and the next one that I worked on was Heritage de Lectura from Mon Ami Pierre, and I managed to finish the letter A. So, and I have a mark on this one, so I'm going to have to wash it. I don't even know where that came from. Well, I do. It's probably from drinking tea whilst I'm stitching or something, because I've got no self-discipline and I just snack and drink while I'm stitching. And then I end up having to wash things. But I'm sure it'll be fine. It's stitched in DMC thread, so I can wash it quite thoroughly, and it will come out. And if it doesn't, I might tea dye the fabric after I finish the stitching. So this one is on, I'm pretty sure this is a 32 count as well, but I'd have to check and I think it's a Lugana, I think, yeah, and I said DMC threads, and this one is 12% complete. It's a big letter A. It's a lot of stitches in that. Took a long time. So that one is not on Whipgo, but might come out just for variety in the future. Deer Forest was on Whipgo, but I've met the goal. So again, might come out for variety in the future. And then I picked up an Autumn Lane stitchery piece called The Witch's Spell. The bit I did on this one was this black down the bottom. That's it. So I'm almost in the bottom corner. And liking this one. This one is now 14% complete, I think. Something like that. It's stitched on, I'm not sure, 28 count, I think, fabric, which I over dyed myself with a Rit dye to make it not quite a solid colour. I'm not sure if you could see the mottling. And it's slightly darker at the bottom edge, but not much. So that one also not a Whipgo project, but might be next year. It was a mania start. Yeah, there might be some hair fiddling today as well because I decided to wear my hair down. I'm not sure I'm going to do that again. Maybe I should just wear it up. Next one I worked on was the English Village Sampler by Mary Hickmott, which was in New Stitches. And this one I will hold the whole thing up. So far, this one is on a 28 count linen mix in a mint green. So, and I worked on one cottage that I said I was going to try and finish, and I did actually finish it. So this one here is completely finished, including the back stitch. So, yay. Not bad at all. So that one is now 48% complete, and the next build I'm going to start on starts here, and it's a big stone church that goes down and all the way across the bottom. So that will be where I move on it next, downwards and then across. That one was also on Whipgo. Also the goal's been met. So again, will only come out occasionally when I'm in the mood for something different. Because I'm really trying to get a full board. And I've only got 4 squares left on my Whipgo to complete. And 2 of those look like they're going to be difficult, and 2 look like they're not going to be too difficult. And then next I worked on the 2017 Mystery from Linen and Threads. So that one is on 38 count Graziano linen, and it's a bright red. And I'm stitching it with 2 strands of DMC black because I wanted the nice thick coverage for it. And I was trying really hard to finish the June band. I didn't quite get there. I've got a B.5 and a tiny bit of border to do. So that one is going to come out tonight, I think. See if I can finish that and start on the July band underneath. Let's see if I can get that without the colour being washed out quite so much by my lighting. There we go. It really is that red. That's better. It's evening here now, so the lighting's a little bit tricky even though I'm sat in front of a window. So I've got an overhead light on as well, which is causing some issues, but it's slightly better than no lighting in here. It'll be too dark to film otherwise. But I'm really pleased with progress on that one. It's on my Whipgo board to get it to 76% complete, and it's currently 54%. I think it's got about 9,000 stitches to go still, so it's going to be a bit of a push. Well, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try. So that one's definitely going to be one I'm going to concentrate on in the next few weeks. And the final project, which I stitched on twice last week, but I stitched on it, that's the last thing I stitched on. So I stitched on it last night, and I put nearly 600 stitches in it last night. And that's the Paris by Night after the Aframov painting that I'm doing on 20 count even weave. And I'm doing this one 2 strands full cross over 1. The even weave is from a German company called Vertigen, and it's in the colour Gelb, which translates as gold, even though it's more of a buttery yellow. And I've reached the bottom corner in my extreme cross-country journey. I've reached the bottom with the black. There's a bit of fluff on it from frogging some black. Oh well. So plan for this one is to stitch across the bottom and then back up to, fingers crossed, meet the bit at the top, not be out. And there's about 2,500 more black stitches to do before I change to a different colour, which is actually dark brown. 938, I think. DMC 938 dark brown. So that'll be interesting. This one is also on WhipGo. It's on the WhipGo board to get it to 25% complete. It's currently 7%, and I've got 12,200 stitches left to go on it. So that one is going to be my focus project for the next month, to see if I can get through that WhipGo goal. And I forgot to write down my stats for September, so I will be right back and I will bring you those to see how much I actually managed to get done. And through the joys of time travel, otherwise known as video editing, that would have seemed like just a millisecond to you, but I can tell you I did 12,498 stitches in September. I stitched every single day, which I've only done in August and September this year. I've missed days in every other month. And I worked on 15 different projects. I had 1 start, 2 finishes. It's a good month. It was a good month. Very pleased with that. So plans for October, to concentrate on my WhipGo projects that are outstanding. So that would be the Linen and Threads Mystery, the Paris by Night, Stargazer Lily, and the Victoria Quaker from Mon Ami Pierre. Right, and hopefully we'll have some progress on those. It was a good haul week this week, so because I need more stuff to stitch, I actually got 4 mirabillas. They're not in their original packaging, so excuse the crinkling. I've got stone roses, so yeah, looking forward to that one. So that's an interesting one. I do like the swag at the bottom, the shading in that swag there, it's very nice. And I got Winter Queen. Let's see, excuse the chart behind, can't really see enough to, if I zoom in, there you go, definitely can't see enough to stitch anything. Summer Queen. So those were all from one person, and then this one, also not in its original packaging, came from someone else. And I'm quite happy about this one. This is Adia the Garden Fairy. Oh, I think I might have to take this one out because it's super shiny cellophane on this one. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. There we go, there's the photo of it. And the photo's shiny too. So that's Adia the Garden Fairy. And the Mirabilia enthusiasts among you will probably know that Adia is out of print. And I got this one at below retail price. So very happy with that. And the other thing I picked up, and it was because I watched someone else's Flosstube and they mentioned something, is this book, which I got on Amazon for a reasonable price. Can't remember how much. It was only about £3-4. Yeah, looking forward to that one. And the reason I got this one, was because the particular person, and I will cover up as much of this as I can and just show you a tiny bit of it, mentioned this alphabet, which you can find everywhere on Pinterest, which is an alphabet of cat shapes. And that's all I'm going to show of it. And it's not a free chart, it's not someone else's chart, it comes from this book, Picture Your Pet in Cross Stitch by Claire Crompton. So Flosstube itchy nose as well. 99% of the charts in here don't have very clear pictures, but then I'll just show you through. So there's a whole variety. There's a big chunk of different breeds of dogs in different positions. There's a big chunk of cats, again various different breeds. And then there's fairy ones, so your little fairy friends. But that includes feathery, very quick flash of it, fishy, scaly, and then at the end, horses and farmyard ones. So if you're looking to make a quick gift for someone, these are cute small charts. I'd say most of them are about between 50 by 50 and some of them a lot smaller, 20 by 30 stitches, card size. Some of them slightly bigger, but mostly very small designs, perfect for small cards and small gifts for the animal lovers in your life. So that one's going in the stash. And I think it's quite an old book actually. Let me see if I can find a date on it. 1988. So if you see that alphabet on Pinterest, you can tell people where it comes from and tell them to buy the book, because it's out there and it doesn't cost much, and you get all of those other charts as well, including other different alphabets. Okay, Flosstuber of the week would be Alyssa Jones. She's a teacher, she's in the US, can't remember where now. She's very cute, blonde, sweet, quiet, and I love her floss tubes because she seems to have fun making them, and she's very happy, and I like her stitching too. And yeah, and the shop of the week would be one on Etsy, which will be Little Stitch Girl, and I like Little Stitch Girl. They also have a floss tube which I mentioned before called Basic Stitches. And what else? Giveaway winner. There was only one person that entered, and that was Selena. So as I have yet to post the kit to you, I will cut open the envelope. I missed the post office yesterday. I had it all sealed up, labelled up, packaged, ready to roll. And I missed the post office. So what I'll do is I will slide this into the same envelope and post it to you, hopefully as soon as I can get another ride to the post office. But the flu jab that I went to go and get yesterday took slightly longer. So life update, got my flu jab yesterday. Really pleased to have gotten that jab sorted. So, and I also managed to get my daughter jabbed at the same time because I was the last appointment of the day. They clearly had a no-show. They had some jabs out. They're probably going to throw them away, I guess, because once they're out of the fridge for a period of time, that's it. And so I said, oh, my daughter's here. Can we get her done too? And they went, sure. So I'm sure she was thrilled with me. No, actually she was. I know she wanted it done. So we were both done on the same day. And, oh, croaky, so, and a drink of tea from one of my favourite mugs at the moment. Heads up warning, it's rude, so I'll cover it up so that if you don't like rude mugs, you can look away now. This is one that was a Christmas present from my daughter. She actually designed the graphic herself, and then she got it made on a mug, I think by Asda actually, on a personalised printing service. So yeah, that's cup of tea in my favourite mug at the moment. And I've just dropped the lipstick of the week on the floor. And I can't see where, oh, no, there it went. Oh, and actually it held up quite well to be drinking the tea. Look, I didn't even transfer it to the mug. So yay. Lipstick of the week is from NYX, NYX, and it's a soft matte lip cream in Budapest, which is a warm burgundy. So it's getting a bit colder here now, so the winter clothes are starting to come out a bit more. The dresses are a bit warmer and a bit woollier and a bit thicker than they were when I started doing this. When did I start doing this? Beginning of August, I think. Yeah, beginning of August. So sooner or later you're going to see me huddled up in my warm fluffy hoodies because I think it's bloody freezing, but yay. And I think that's everything. Yes, that's everything in my bullet journal book of Flosstube. So I will talk to you next week, hopefully with some progress. Oh, plans. Other plans, I've got 2 Christmas ornaments to stitch, which they have to be sent, one by mid-November, one by the end of November. So I'm going to look into those and see what I can come up with. They're 2 exchange pieces. So there might be some Christmas ornaments next week. That's it. Okay. Oh, and no car. Still no car. But still looking. Alright, so bye for now, and I'll talk to you soon.